Hello everybody and welcome. Today we have an FA Cup quarter-final for a place in the semi-finals, and we're trying to stay ahead of Liverpool in the Premier League. Hello and welcome to episode 39 of Where Eagles Dare, as we manage Crystal Palace for the FM26 Beta Save. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have games against West Ham United in the FA Cup quarter-final. It's at Selhurst Park, and then we face Newcastle United, also at Selhurst Park, in Premier League Matchday 33, as we hurtle towards the end of the season. Can we secure two bits of silverware, potentially an FA Cup and also the Premier League title, or will we miss out completely? That is the question. As I said, West Ham are first opponents of the episode. More about that in just a moment. And then we play West Ham again because FM's playing City what's-its, because in the last round of the FA Cup we had Ipswich and Ipswich back-to-back. Does that mean that we possibly would have Manchester City and Manchester City? I don't know if Manchester City's still in it. I think it got knocked out, didn't they? We will check all that out in a moment. But anyway, it was West Ham again, this time at the London Stadium. We won't be seeing that game. We're going to play that offline, and then we're going to come back for the game against Newcastle in the Premier League at Selhurst Park, and we'll be facing them. West Ham United, we will round up on in a moment. We've not lost against them so far, and doesn't look like we've lost against Newcastle United either. So all that to come, but we're going to focus on the FA Cup first before we look at the Premier League. What I will do, though, before we do that, is just a reminder of how we ended up at the end of last episode. We are top on 73, 2 points clear of Liverpool because they slipped up against Everton, only managing a 1-1 draw. Manchester City have played a game more than us and are on 69 points. Their form's a little bit awry at the moment. Maybe it's a good time to meet them. Won only twice in their last 5, drawn 2 and lost the other one. Tottenham are 3 points behind them in 4th place. Again, their form's a little bit over the place, and Arsenal back to winning ways in their last 2 games. Hopefully they will be able to beat Liverpool. That's a game that they've got coming up very, very soon, and if they can, that as long as we can keep winning, will open a bit of a gap at the top of the table. Chelsea have definitely gone off the rails, lost 3, drawn 1 and won 1 of their last 5. They are in the last European place as it stands at the moment, 6 points clear of Aston Villa in 7th place. Right, as I said, it is FA Cup. That is our focus at the start of this episode, and I think what we need to do is have a look and see. Matches have been played in this round. And why am I going into the third round? I'm on the quarterfinals. Thank you very much. Leeds United have beaten Manchester United 4-1. Newcastle have beaten Nottingham Forest 2-1. Maybe it's back-to-back Newcastles. Arsenal have beaten Liverpool 4-0. That's what we want them to do in the Premier League as well. That's coming up very, very soon. We play the final game of the quarterfinals. So Leeds, Newcastle and Arsenal so far through. Can we join them? Let's go and find out. And here is the side that faces West Ham in this FA Cup quarter-final, the first of 2 back-to-back matches against them. Henderson is in goal. It's Mitchell, Gueye, Lacroix and Mounoir, our defensive line. Wharton playing as the deep-lying playmaker. Kamara and Uche in front of him, with Pino and Sarr as the wide attacking midfielders. And Nketiah leads the attack up front, a position he's made his own since Mateta left in January. I have tweaked the tactic very slightly because our out of position has now gone very much like this, so we can block it off. I guess the attacking prowess isn't quite so good, but that's how we can do it. The bench then looks like this. It's Benitez, Guy, Angore, Gertrudia, Drogasan, Raksaki, Lerma, Ndula and Bireth. And here we are back at Selhurst Park playing our 4-3-3 today. West Ham United playing a 4-2-3-1, making one change from the side that lost to Leeds United 4-2. Todibo coming in for Mavropanos. And Gerard Bowen getting us underway. West Ham playing in a creamy white tops today. Wharton. Back to Henderson. Wharton. Gay to Lacroix. Lacroix comes forward and attacking from that back there. Sarr around his man. Wharton. Back to Sarr. Sarr in the penalty area. Wharton. Sarr. Uche from the edge of the area. And it's 1-0 on 7 minutes. And we take a lead. Good build-up work. And Sarr and Wharton working well together. Sarr tried to find a way through. Couldn't. Wharton. Back to Sarr. Sarr then put it for Uche on the D. And all he did was daisy cut it into the corner past Hermison. Manus heading that ball forward to Sarr. Inside to Uche. Lacroix. Lacroix finds Sarr. Working it down this right-hand side of the pitch. Sarr working very hard. Manus crosses this ball in and somehow it stayed out. Not quite sure how it stayed out, but it did. Gahey, Uche, Wharton, Kamada, Nketiah. As we head for half-time. 1 minute added on at the end of this first half. We are going to get another highlight. Alvarez, Teller, Walker-Peters, Todibo, and cut out almost by Mitchell, but not quite. They still have the ball. Time is running out for them. Byrne comes forward and he's put that into touch, and it's going to be half-time. And we go in 1-up at half-time. 44% of the possession. They've wrestled possession back. We had about 60% at one point. 9 shots, 4 on target, 1.53 on the XG. They've had just 1 shot. They did have a period of time in that first half, probably about 20 minutes of it. And we took control of the game, as it were, for the second half of that first half. And, so far we've kept them at bay. So let's hope that continues in the second half. Another goal would mean it's a bit more comfortable. And it's Eddie Nketiah getting the second half underway. Wharton, Mitchell, Pino, no changes at half-time. Manus, Kamada. Manus picking up a yellow card, which I think means that he will miss the semi-final if we get there. Pino into space for Wharton. Wharton pulls it back. Pino, Wharton's brought down. No penalty given. Sarr heads it back in the area. Uche. And it was Jeremy Pino putting it away to make it 2-0. Uche scored one and has supplied one. Mitchell crossed this ball in for Sarr. Sarr heads it back into the danger zone. It's headed away, but only as far as Uche, who brought it down very nicely. Pino was standing unmarked and managed to put it past Hermison. Throw in on that far side from Manus. It's headed away. Kamada is there. Uche across field to Mitchell. Mitchell puts it into space for Wharton. Wharton has moved forward into that more central midfield role. And Sarr puts it away, makes it 3-0. And we are cruising now on 63 minutes. Yeah, Wharton, we switched Wharton to more attacking midfield, or central midfield. Dropped Kamada into the defensive midfield role. And seems to have made the difference in the second half. Definitely a bit more attacking, Wharton. as we enter the last few minutes of this second half. We do get another highlight. 87 minutes or 88 minutes on the clock. Somerville, Fernandez, who's come on for West Ham. Nice to keep a clean sheet. I've said that before. It's always come and bitten us in the bottom. Bowen's there. It's come off the post and it's pumped upfield. And I think there was an offside there anyway. 90 minutes. 5 minutes added on at the end of this game. And do we make a couple more changes? I don't think we bother really. It's going to be a 3-0 win, and we are through to the semi-finals. Question is, who will we play in the semi-finals? That is a big question. We will come back to it in due course. Ended up, they had 5 shots, 2 on target. We had 17 shots, 8 on target. 2.22 against their 0.26. 47% of the possession against their 53. They were sporadic in that second half, but never really bothered us. So once we've picked up our second and third goals, it was job done. Uche, I would say, man of the match for sure. Scoring 1 and making 2 assists. A very good day for him and, well, gets our tails up. Now it's back to Premier League business. Well, there we are. Confirmation of a 3-0 win against West Ham. West Ham are out then. It's Leeds, Newcastle, Arsenal and ourselves in the semi-finals of this competition. I presume it doesn't show up there yet. It doesn't. So we will bring you news of that as it happens. I don't think there's anything else to tell you at the moment. 6 days down to the Premier League game against West Ham, and we'll come back on match day for that. Well, we managed to get a result against West Ham at the London Stadium. It was scrappy, it was messy, and as you'll see, we did have a lot of that game other than in the second half. I mean, they had about 25 minutes that second half when they could have got back at us, but we had got in front through Wharton on 58 minutes, which gave us the win, and it's another 3 points that we picked up, thankfully, and that means today's other results looking like this. Manchester United beating Everton 3-2. Brighton 5-3 winners over Nottingham Forest. The battle at the bottom of the table as Brighton look to get closer and closer to survival. Suddenly, all of a sudden, hit a bit of form at the bottom there. The big result, which affects us, is Arsenal have beaten Liverpool by 2-0, and that is a huge result as far as we're concerned. Aston Villa beating our next opponents by 1-0. And Manchester City only managing a 2-2 draw against Tottenham, which was rather splendid. Our 1-0 win against West Ham. Ipswich and Norwich still to play. It means the table looks like this. We do have a game in hand over Manchester City as well. We are 6 points clear of them at the moment. Liverpool fall 5 points behind us, having hit a little bit of a blip. A draw and a loss as it is. I'm anticipating we may lose against Manchester City, but we have that extra little bit of cushion now as well, which we need to make sure we retain in today's game. Second game against Newcastle. Tottenham are in 4th place on 67 points. And then there's a 6-point drop down to Arsenal, who are in 5th on 61 points. And Chelsea in 6th on 52 points. With Aston Villa on 49, just outside of those European places as it currently stands. Right, we have a few days down to the game. In fact, we've got 8 days down to the game against Newcastle. I'll be back on match day. Well, here we are at match day and some more results because we're playing on Sunday. Newcastle playing in the Champions League. They've got through to the semi-finals. So as a consequence, we're playing on Sunday. But games played on Friday. West Ham drawing 1-1 with Nottingham Forest. Arsenal are beating Tottenham. Liverpool beating Aston Villa. Not what we wanted. But we know what we've got to do. That's the main thing. Everton beating Ipswich Town by 3-2 and Leeds drawing 1-1 with Manchester United. which means going into today's games, we are still top, 2 points clear of Liverpool. If we can win this game against Newcastle, we would be back to 5 points in front of them, and we would also be 9 points clear of Manchester City, bearing in mind we've got a game to play against Manchester City as well coming up, and Tottenham are in 4th place on 67 points. So that is how it all looks going into today's game. Newcastle it is then, at Selhurst Park. We've played them 3 times in this series so far. We've been away twice, beat them 2-1 and 2-0 at their place. Last time at our place, we beat them by 2-0. Eddie Nketiah on 50 and 56 minutes, giving us the win against them. Can we get a similar result today? Let's hope so. And here is the side that faces Newcastle in this Premier League match day 33. And it's a fairly familiar side, really. Not many changes. Henderson is in goal. It's Mitchell, Gay, Lacroix and Memoir across the defensive line. Walton playing as the deep line playmaker. Kamada and Uche in that midfield. Pino and Sarr play as the wide attacking midfielders, and Nketiah leads the attack up front. Biereth has picked up an injury. He's out for 2 to 4 weeks, so he's not available, hence why Xerxes is on the bench. Benitez, Guy, Angore, Gertrudia, Dragasan, Raksaki, Ndula, Lerma and Xerxes make up the bench. And here we are back at Selhurst Park for this one, playing our 4-3-3 formation. They are also playing a 4-3-3 today, making 3 changes from the side that beat Bayern Munich in the Champions League by 1-0. And they're currently 15th with 35 points. As the teams come out onto the pitch, Newcastle playing in their black and white stripes today. They're not playing in their away kit. And they get the game underway as we go looking for the 3 points. Shot coming in there. I'm not sure who had the shot, but Summer collected. 25 minutes on the clock. And Summer launches a long one headed into midfield. Kamada, Sarr through to Nketiah. And a save by Summer, but he was offside. Throw in, I think. Gahi, Uche, Manus to Wharton. Wharton finds Uche. Uche chips one over the top looking for Sarr. Manus back along the line to Sarr. Sarr now. Is he going to try and get this ball in? Hopefully he will. Along the line. And Uche's been brought down. And it could be a penalty. Sarr went round the man. There was questions of whether he'd taken it over the line. It is a penalty. And who's setting up for it? Not sure. It's Nketiah. And a save made. And we haven't scored. It's gone for a corner. Wharton with the corner on this side. Swung in, headed away. Only as far as Sarr. Sarr through the crowd. And Sarr gives us the lead after 33 minutes. Well, wasn't really expecting that. Wharton ball in. It was headed away by Voldemade to Sarr. Sarr, his options were limited. Decided to fire it through the crowd, which he did. Didn't get a deflection. And we take the lead on 33 minutes. Half-time has arrived, and we have dominated that first half, but only had 45% of the possession. We've had 9 shots, 6 on target, 1.42. They've had 3 shots. All 3 have been on target. So they are not a pushover, and if they get those shots in, if they're hitting the target, then we are having problems. So we need to be blocking them off, so to speak. But we do have our noses in front at half time, and that 5-point gap has been restored. Can we keep it that way? Nketiah getting us underway for the second half. Mitchell to Pino. Wharton through to Kamada. Nketiah. Looks like the highlight's going to continue. Kamada into area. Cut back. And it's Ismaila Sarr getting us straight from kickoff. A second goal. And we've got a 2-goal cushion. Kamada to Nketiah. Nketiah back to Kamada. And Kamada finds Sarr, who was unmarked. And Sarr doesn't usually miss those and scores his second of the game. They have a corner. Zinchenko with the corner. Fires this one in. Punched away by Henderson. And he'll never learn. He's done that too many times. And they've got a goal back fairly quickly. Within 4 minutes, Henderson punching it away, and he's off his line. And nowhere near it. Trippier crosses this ball in, headed away by Lacroix to Sarr. Sarr comes on a counter-attack now. What is Sarr going to do? Is he going to go on his own? He cuts the ball back. He's got Manus in support. Uche. Manus back to Uche. Uche to Wharton. Wharton to Uche. Uche has a shot from the edge of the area, but it wasn't far away. Ball punted forward. Raksaki on the ball. Manus. Manus comes forward. Raksaki, who's come on. Uche. Uche finds Xerxes. Sarr on the ball. Nice ball through to Kamada. Back to Sarr. Sarr and Kamada working together. Kamada! And it's gone out for a corner. Save. And as we hit 90 minutes, 5 minutes added on, we are going to go balanced to try and see this game out. A 2-1 win will do us. It is all over, and we have beaten Newcastle by 2-1. Only 42% of the possession. They had about 15 minutes of that game. They scored in that 15 minutes as well. But luckily, that early goal in the second half from Sarr on 46 minutes gave us a big enough cushion to withstand the pressure. We had 13 shots, 8 on target. They had 10 shots, 6 on target. I think they had about 1 shot on target in that second half. 0.41 on the XG. We had 1.75. So we do extend our lead back at the top again to 5 points. Is that going to be a big enough cushion going into the next episode? We will have to wait and see. And so to the day's results, our 2-1 win over Newcastle. Chelsea beating Coventry 4-2. Fulham beating Brentford 3-1. And Brighton beating Norwich by 1-0. They are on a rich vein of form and really standing a chance of closing their gap. They have 4 games left to play, 12 points available to them, gives them 37 points. They could still do it, but they need to pretty much win their remaining games. But they are doing extremely well at the moment. The table then at the end of this episode, we've used up a game in hand. Manchester City, Tottenham have played a game more than everybody else, but as I said, it's probably the best time to try and to meet Manchester City because they are on a poor run of form. We are top on 79 points, 5 points clear of Liverpool. We have 5 games, 15 points still available to us. Liverpool in second on 74, Manchester City third on 70, Tottenham are fourth on 67, then come Arsenal fifth on 64, and then there's a bit of a gap down to Chelsea, who are sixth on 56. Coventry, Nottingham Forest and Brighton in that drop zone at the bottom. That's how we stand. We're going to play one game offline. We're going to play Brentford in Premier League match day 34, and then we're going to come back for an Emirates FA Cup semi-final. It's a replay against Newcastle, who we've just managed to squeeze past. Can we squeeze past them again and get through to the FA Cup final? We will have to wait and see. It is at Wembley. And then we will go to the Etihad Stadium for the away match against Manchester City. Last time we played them at their place, though, we did draw with them 2-2. I guess a draw wouldn't be a bad result, especially as we've got a little bit of a cushion. But we need to win against Brentford to make sure that that cushion remains. And then we'll have 3 games to the end of the season. So we will try and work out how best to cover those 3 games. I'll have to wait and see and work it all out. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, though. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with everything that happens here on Where Eagles Dare, and let you know when it's been released. We're trying to get back onto our usual schedule. Hopefully we'll be back at some point next week as we fire in on the end of the season. The best way of keeping up to date with what's happening on the channel, though, is follow me on X at JustOffside2. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. And the next episode is going to be episode 40. It's an FA Cup semi-final and possibly a huge match in our quest to win the Premier League as we play Manchester City at their place. Till next time, goodbye.